There's video games, endless pizza, and a weird animatronic costume man. Man, this place is heaven.
Yeah, I can see the appeal. No wonder so many guys want to live here. Which is why that we have to secure this place from Quacko no matter what we have to do. Which means every cartoon trick we've ever learned up our sleeves.
But I'm the only one with sleeves.
That you are, Wacko. That you are. I've been busy winning over all of them with just how cute I am. Very good, sis, very good. And my charming, charismatic wit has won over a bunch of these so-called cartoon gentlemen.
I don't know, Wacko. Don't you think it's wrong to try to take this channel away from our brother?
Hey, do you really want to be a corporate slave to Netflix of all things? No? Then we have to take this channel. And to take this channel, he has to give us permission to stay so we can work our magic. The real question is, what are we going to do about his inner circle? Don't worry. I'm bringing in the big guns for that.
This still feels wrong. So the Warners are really here to take over our channel?
This isn't good. We should tell the others.
Screw them! What have they done for us recently? We haven't been in an episode in forever. Perhaps we should discuss this further.
If we side with the cartoon gentleman, then we might be able to get more vector poses.
I would love more vector poses and screen time. But if we don't tell and he finds out, he might kick us off the show.
Let us sit on this information for a little while longer.
Until we see which side gives us the more favorable outcome. Oh, for goodness sake, finally the cameraman shows up. Now we can get on with the show.
We're the Cartoon Gentlemen, and this is Animaniacs 2020.
The episode begins where the Warners are apparently watching their new favorite TV show. This spin-off series of Shark Tank. Except instead of bad ideas being demoted, the contestants fall into a pit of fire. You know, I would actually watch this show if that was the case.
Well, this gets my siblings starting to talking, and Yakko says that he can come up with an idea off rip better than anything the show has. So they said, bet. And so, Yakko has to come up with an idea off bat, and his idea is colonizing another planet. See, look at that. We can still be creative and funny. Look at that.
Why are you even still here? Shouldn't you be convincing Recycle Bin that you're worthy of being a member among our clan? So it segues into another Yakko song about exploring and colonizing other planets in the universe. And why it's a really bad idea, because every planet that we could go to isn't Earth and has its own sets of problems. From solar radiation to toxic atmospheres to alien life, and so far not selling things very well. Until he starts talking about another planet with puppy wizards, candy everywhere, everything's free, pizza, delivery, and all things well and good, and he's finally sold. And then he says he just made that entire planet up. No shit.
I suppose the song itself is entertaining enough. Credit where credit is due, Yakko definitely knows how to sing.
But because his ideas aren't feasibly possible because of all of the nuances of reality, he is dunked into the pit of fire until he can come up with an idea that's actually worthwhile. It's gonna take a while.
Look at all the funs, laughs, and all the great times we're having. I don't know about that. I suppose it was mildly entertaining for just a first act.
It did provide me a little bit of white noise for a bit of light reading. We then cut to the Pinky and the Brain segment of this show, where they're just getting back from a wild adventure that is a tongue-in-cheek, we went on an extravagant adventure, but we're never going to tell you what we actually did. But, what's the plan this week?
Mission is to retrieve these blueprints from Chump Tower.
Chump Tower? Did I hear that right? What? It's just a little play on words and a little name play. Nothing major. Ugh, I knew you couldn't resist going back to the political humor bullshit.
Well, normally I love a good allegory for somebody else in IRL, but this Trump allegory bullshit is starting to get very distracting. Can we please move on to another joke?
Oh, come on, I've seen you use political humor too.
When I use it, I am genuinely just getting a reaction out of people. When you use it, you genuinely think it's funny. We are not the same.
So, Brain's evil plan to take over the world is to invade Chump Tower and use a mind control spray that he developed in order to influence all the world leaders that are going to be there to submit to his will. But if there's one thing that Chump is good at, it's border security. And Brain, for the life of him, can't find a way in. So it seems that the plan is scrapped, and they'll have to do something else.
But the next night, Pinky is unable to join because his favorite TV show is coming on. A beauty pageant? I don't know.
You watch that archaic, retrograde, sexist drivel? Oh, Pinky, I thought you were woke.
Ugh. Somehow Brain using woke in this context makes the line even more cringy than usual.
What? I thought you loved cringe humor. That's what you're good at, right?
I am a big chaos being who likes to generate chaos in my general life. But even I have standards to how much I make my audience wince. And every time a corporate entity tries to use modern-day lingo unironically, it doesn't come off as hip or in the know or part of the in-crowd and get to know the kids. It comes off as dated and cringe.
What? We think people would love a tongue-in-cheek nod, especially you, since your entire design is a tongue-in-cheek nod to another character.
Oh, you want to be Mr. Yappy Yappy Talky? You think you're funny? Well then, tell me, if you're so attached to political humor, how about giving us a joke on more recent events? Like, let's say, the Epstein files. Go on, tell your jokes.
Well, I don't think they're appropriate.
Oh no, please continue. Tell us the names on that list. Go on. Tell us the names. Make some witty humor and banter.
I think we might want to move on.
That's what I thought, bitch. So during Pinky's ramblings, he does drop the tidbit of information that Trump Tower is going to be hosting his pageant event that he's so fond of. And Brain uses the opportunity to infiltrate the tower so that he can use the mind control spray, and it just so happens that it happens to be the exact same day the World Summit meeting is happening. Coincidence?
It's a cartoon, I'll allow it. So after, dare I say,
the American Gulag's newest resident, ex-presidente, USA!
We cut to Brain trying to get into Trump Tower under the guise of registering for the pageant. But when asked where's his model, he shows off Pinky. Wait, didn't we just do this last episode or something similar?
Whatever, they're not already proven that they're creatively bankrupt. So with the hard part out of the way, Brain now has to figure out how to go from pageantry to the World Leader Summit. But unfortunately for Brain, he doesn't have the amount of time needed to improvise a plan to get up all the way to the very top at this moment in time, while still maintaining the pageantry. So, he must have Pinky stall for time to be in the pageant as long as possible, until Brain can at least come up with a plan. So, that means turning Pinky into the most sellable, winnable, pageantry nominee victor. But at the very least, Pinky has a head start upon all the other contendees, because he's significantly smarter than most of the contendees.
Whoa, Rehash, I know you like being controversial, but don't you think that's taking things a little too far?
That wasn't me, that was Bucket. I own the shit I say. Baby shark doo 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 doo, shark suit doo 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 doo.
So after a little while, Brain finally comes up with a scheme that allows him to break into the World Leaders Summit in order to spray his concoction. And it's here we already see the big plot twist. Pinky is going to take the formula for mind control and use it on himself. And Brain is going to get some random perfume.
The big twist being spoiled already aside, Pinky doesn't intend on helping Brain whatsoever, as he actually intends on winning this competition, and he's going to do it with or without Brain's help.
I wonder what he thinks integrity means.
The irony of you making that kind of joke.
Oh, what do you mean by that?
Show an asshole who needs punishment, you show up, punish the asshole with cartoon physics. It's not that hard of a concept. So after Pinky refuses to throw the talent competition, he ends up throwing the talent competition regardless, giving Brain enough of a distraction to perform an Ocean's 11 style break-in scene where he goes from the talent show all the way through the pipes of ventilation and air ducts and water ducts in order to make his way to the World Leaders Summit, where he demands their subjugation. Of course, then he does his mystical mind control spray, but of course, he accidentally swapped it, like I said, and it's great that you noticed that. And everybody laughs at Brain. Meanwhile, Pinky used the spray on himself, which envelops the room, asking them to please make him Miss Universe. And they, of course, do so.
And so, with his plans thwarted, Pinky and Brain prepare for tomorrow night, for they will try to take over the world, as soon as they deal with the ex-Venezuelan dictator. Don't you think that even you were being a little insensitive there? What? The Venezuelan people actually like the dictator getting out of power.
And besides, you're the ones who decided to make all this political references. All we're doing is playing ball.
Yeah, I'm the guy who makes the funnies. I don't like the political shit. You know, you two are way too in sync with each other. So the last segment here is rejected Animaniacs characters. Okay. I'm gonna have to have a little talk with my brother. Could you take over for the remainder of this?
Oh, well, I'm going to catch up on that later. But for now, this segment of the show is a very meta story of all of the ideas that were rejected by the Animaniacs, where we see a few fun little things here and there. And oddly enough, a nod to a Disney cartoon that nobody watched. Imagine that. And it says that all these ideas are rejected for one reason or another. And so the segment ends with them talking about other things. Though unironically, I would watch the Santa one.
Yakko, you had the nerve, no, the audacity to write a skit about rejected Animaniacs characters? Now, listen here. No. I am talking now. You had the nerve to think that having an episode where you make fun of rejected Animaniacs ideas was a good thing when you've outright rejected the entire old cast? Oh, you're thinking too much into it. It's not that big of a deal. Not that big of a deal. Do you have any idea of how that bad that makes us look? Us? What do you mean, us? If I remember correctly, you were not part of the show. It doesn't matter! Everything that you do reflects badly on me, too! Listen, Quacko, you're young. You don't know how hard it is to run a giant show. You just have your little cute YouTube channel. Sometimes characters need to get the axe. After all, you did the same thing with your cast, right? That was different. I gave them their own show because people wanted to see them prosper in their own show. Hell, I'm a part of it. And it's that kind of attitude that means you won't make it in Hollywood, baby. Well, your episode was still mid to piss poor, with way too much reliance on political humor.
Trouble in paradise?
No, just trouble with family drama.
And I'm just curious, what are you willing to do to escape that drama?
Oh, Bucket. If only there was a guy who could eventually escape the family drama.
Yes. If only.
That was Gent.
Brioche.
And Bucket. We're the Cartoon Gentlemen, and we organize the chaos. See you all next time.